Hello there, my Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate reading, timeless but time-stamped for December 2019-ish. We're being a little loose on the timelines because we're reading for collectives. You with me? I am your reader for the moment, Mark Angelo Lyons. Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and really happy to be in service to you. In fact, very happy because blessing the decks right now made me a little lightheaded. Definitely was lovely. Glad I was sitting down. Wasn't gonna, astral project or nothing, but it was a very, very powerful blessing. So be it, right? A couple of things before we dive in. This is a collective read. Please check your other signs if it does not fit. You'll always hear on, on YouTube readers, you take what resonates. How do you know what resonates? How does it feel in your body? And even if it jolts you and it's something you don't want to hear, take note of it, right? Just take note of it. Otherwise, would your DNA jump like that, right? Would your energy field jump like that? Sometimes it doesn't play out the way you think, right? So please do check your other signs. Don't do the mental manipulation to try and make shit fit if it doesn't fit. That's just the wiser thing to do. This is a soulmate read, but it is particularly a romantic, love, sexual, intimate contract kind of thingy, because soulmates, the foundation of a soul contract that is soulmate based is that you come in to help each other heal. That's why it can be a family member, a parent, a child, a sibling, a best friend, anybody. And you of course have more than one. This is specifically about the romantic, sexual, intimate relationships, the ones particularly soulmate based that we're looking for the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise soulmate contract, right? In that sense of the sex, the romance, the whole 9 yards. Because who the fuck doesn't want that? I want that. I'm working on it. Had enough twin flames preparing me for it. Watch some of the videos in the description box below. One by me, one by Matt KAHN. Although I've been having a field day making vids. There's one for Drunk Tarot. Please help me get to 1,000 subscribers if you're new. My ebooks are down there. There's a lot going on in my description box, including the decks and links. The links for all the decks that I read. I just put them all down there. I don't change it every single time. But, give credit where credit is due. Oh, we are doing divine feminine, divine masculine for these reads. Just to clarify, we are never talking about biological gender. When we're talking divine masculine, divine feminine, we're talking about God, goddess energy, Lord, lady, solar, lunar, yin, yang, however you want to look at the illusion of separation, duality, polarity. That's fine. Use your language. It's just divine masculine, divine feminine makes sense in terms of contracts, right? So let's go have a look-see-dooksy. You're going to have to figure out as we go which one you are, unless, I pretty much identify as a divine feminine, although other people bring out my divine masculine. So it kind of depends on who I'm with. And sometimes, and I think more often than we'd like to admit, because we are both divine masculine, divine feminine in balance, whatever the percentage is, both sides can apply, right? Learn from both sides. There's just wisdom in that. And you know what? That's my Taoist heart inside of me too. Past lives, we've studied all sorts of things. And in this life, we get to integrate them all. Such fun. I think that's about it, aside from please breathe. Very important that we consciously breathe as we go. It puts you in alignment and flow with the same inspiration, guidance, and grace that I'm getting it from, right? It's just a question of focusing on your breath, being in the moment, and then you'll be able to actually feel more readily of the information, which one is really about you and one which is meh, right? Meh, does not feeling it, right? Not a positive or a negative, but a neutral, right? I guess that's about it. Let's dive in. Please breathe. Here we go. My collective pantheons, there you are, of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card to represent the divine feminine in this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate contract. And we are talking the romantic, intimate, sexual partnership kind. Thank you very much. Please, one card for the soul power, the soul power of the divine feminine in this contract, what can be alchemized from lead to gold, December, or timeless. Oh, we've got the divine child archetype. Happy to see it, actually. I know the orphan child popped up. What was that? That was either a Pisces or Aquarius. That one came up with. And I think the divine child, particularly in a soulmate contract, so very, very powerful. We'll get to it, though. Let's get the divine masculine, because I like seeing the initial interplay. It's like meeting the two of them in a reading. And it's fun for me, because I don't have any planets in Sag, so... Although I may be dating a Sagittarius very soon. Interestingly enough, we met today, so now let's not start reading him already. No, thank you very much. Fuck, but now I thought of it, right? Damn. Thank you, spirit guides. Breathe. All I gotta do is stay in the moment, breathe, and ask the right questions, make the right intentions. Same thing, please, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card for the divine masculine in this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract, December-ish 2019, timeless. What's that archetype? What's his soul power about? And we've got the Judge archetype. Fuck. Okay, let's just get these out of the way, shall we? Every archetype is shadow and light. Lead and gold, as I prefer it. I start reading the lead, the shadow first, so that we know what we're dealing with. What are the soul powers? What are the aspects of our own personal contracts, in this case, you who are watching, that has to alchemize into gold what you have to heal. Now, even though we're talking romantic, sexual, intimate, odd to see the word child in that, and I am right there with you, except that everybody has the child archetype. No one was born 50 years old, right? We were all children. So as a member of the survival family of archetypes, we are looking at one that everybody has. Everybody has the child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. Go read Caroline May, Sacred Contracts, Google her, YouTube her. You could take it up with her. I'm just doing the reading. I ain't got to explain all of it, right? Watch some of my other videos I do. Watch my Vimeo on demand stuff. So with the child archetype has several sub-archetypes. There's the orphan, which came up a couple of readings ago. There's the nature child, the magical child, the eternal child, and this is the divine child. There's the wounded child, on and on and on and on. But the divine child in particular has a warm place in my heart because we're all divine children at our core, right? The inner child and the higher self at some point are the same thing, right? Different stages. So here we go. The shadow attribute. An inability to defend oneself against negative forces, as a child really is not able to, but carrying that into adulthood, and I think depending on how long you've been on the spiritual path and how much you integrate, or I should say interrelate with others, like in a community, you can tell that there are people who are really, really divine children in adult bodies where they are so open and one with the divine that they don't know how to defend themselves against negative forces. See, I had to learn that. That's why I had to learn witchcraft. Sorry, just had to. It's all about setting boundaries at the end of the day. And a child needs to learn how to set boundaries, right? So an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. For a divine feminine, that also does make sense in terms they're showing me the empathic qualities of a divine feminine, right? More yin, right? Like to just kind of feel everybody's everything in their bodies. So the light that we're shooting for, the gold, that you're going to help each other heal, which is why these archetype cards are so helpful for soulmate contracts, really twin flames as well, is that you look at what you're really specifically in this contract to help each other heal. So the light attribute, or the gold here for the divine feminine, innocence, purity, and redemption suggests a special connection with the divine, right? So particularly that word redemption, like think about that, of all the relationships that you've been through, right? If you identify as the divine feminine in this one, and if you're cross-watching, right, as the divine masculine, you're watching this one, then it really is just think about all those relationships that we've all been through in the romantic sexual genre, the path of true love. Not that the path of true love is all about romance, sex, and that kind of intimacy, but it's a big part of it if it's a part of it for you, you know, if it's not on everybody's path, because path of true love is about becoming true love, becoming the embodiment of that which you seek, because in truth we already are, on and on and on, right? Chipping away the excess marble, Michelangelo. So to kind of get that redemption, that now is that it's like that child has this, like, I want to redeem all of that by really having this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, loving experience of true love in a romantic, intimate sexual partnership, and suggests a special connection with the divine, which means is never really truly alone, never really truly undefended. But oftentimes when we forget our true identity, right, when we forget our divine inheritance, our divine heritage, we can certainly make ourselves vulnerable to a lot of things that ultimately cannot hurt us. The Course in Miracles says, we think we have many problems, we have but one. We have forgotten who we are. One problem, one solution. Just saying. For the divine masculine, moving right along. Woo, thanks. The judge archetype for the divine masculine here. Now, I grew up with lawyers, right? It's like my mother divorced my father when I was 2 years old and married her divorce lawyer, my stepfather, who I call Zeus, because he's Zeus. And they both live on a mountaintop now, which totally makes sense. So I have a fondness for lawyers and judges and all of that ilk. Because I am essentially a universal lawyer, and that I study and practice according to universal, magical, and natural, spiritual, mystical law. Shadow attribute, offering only destructive criticism, womp womp, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. So we kind of know when the judge puts its thumb on the scales, right? You know, is unfair, is out of balance. We're looking at ethical issues there. We're looking at issues of honor. And here's the thing about this particular form of lead, particularly when it's the harm is passed on to another in that way, it's next to impossible for the one who does it to heal, because liars can't heal, right? There has to be some sort of lie, deceit. No, that's true of the shadow side of anything, really. But when it is that thing of deliberately doing harm by unbalancing the scales, makes it very hard for them to heal, because there has to be an admission, right? It needs to come out into the light. It sucks, but it has to. Hence justice, right? You can't be the judge really ultimately without justice. So the light attribute, what the divine masculine is shooting for here, balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. And isn't that just so much about what a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic, intimate sexual relationship is? It's a balanced distribution of power, right? It's about the give and take. It's like you're both putting time. It's fair, right? It's balanced. It is just. And of course, with compassion, that there's going to be justice. There's going to be a real balance of it, but with a not just here, but here. That the choices that made here, it's all in congruence. Divine Father, Divine Mother, Divine Child, Holy Mind, Holy Heart, Holy Will. Just saying. We ain't anywhere near done. We're going to take 5 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to clarify the Divine Child, doing essentially a pentacle spread, no big whoop. Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit. I'll call them out as we go, dealing them all face down. Breathe. Oh, my Saggies, my Saggies. Breathe with me. Nope. Nope. Not until I call for them, please. Oh, my goddesses. Please. 5 cards. Element spread. For the Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, sign divine, feminine, divine child archetype, please. Yeah. In this soulmate contract, for December-ish 2019. Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit, Fire. What does this divine feminine want? Earth. What does she have to get her what she wants? Air. What is she thinking and believing about what she wants? Water. What is she feeling and intuiting about what she wants? And Spirit. What is the overview from the point of view of her soul, her spirit? Rock and roll. Let's. For the divine child, what does she want? The divine feminine here, the learner, right? Good old Eight of Pentacles, the learner, wants to learn, wants to heal, wants to grow. Because you know what? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise. Romantic sexual relationships. And by the way, I mean, maybe I will break that down in a second video. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise has been a spell component I've been working with for a very long time. And it's an ongoing journey. It's very Capricorn in that sense, right? All very long-term stuff you build over time, so it can't necessarily be taken away all at once, though sometimes it is, right? So that learning process is like, have we had? How many lifetimes have we gone through? When do we finally get the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise? You know, because what does wealthy mean in that sense, right? It is about that balance. Like everybody's like matching it up and it's prosperous and abundant and it feels really fucking good, right? So the learner, willing to be the learner, wants to be the learner to really get that experience. Earth, what does she have to help her get that? The card of Justice. Just saying, right? So the presence, if this divine masculine is really in that light side, the golden judge there, really compassion, fairness, managing fair distribution of power. In other words, managing it, not necessarily in control of it, but managing it. Then here we've got the card of Justice for Ma'at, right? The weigher of the heart against the feather. Really talk about balance and compassion. Can it be done with an open heart? And it does feel like with that element of earth here for the divine feminine, like that's really the position of the spread, that this is something that she has that compassionate heart, that she tries to be open-hearted, light-hearted, forgiving, but still in a process of learning, because really, I mean, and this is just a truth, we all have regrets and shame and guilt about the past until we've really learned from it. And then once we've really learned from it, and sometimes we're aware we have and sometimes we don't, there's just this balancing and a lightening and a forgiving of our own self and our own hearts, which clears the field for everybody else too, to an extent. Fifth dimensional holographic unity consciousness. Cope. What is she thinking about all of this? Well, what her thoughts and beliefs are. We got that Nine of Blades. Now, you see Nine of Blades in the Rider-Waite Tarot. It ain't pretty, right? It's not pretty. It's sleepless nights, fuck, insomnia, thinking beyond thinking beyond thinking. Here, it's the card of criticism, which has a similar vibration, except it's all focused inward. So what I like about this card, being that it's a 9, right? One more to complete. And the 10 of Blades in this deck is so beautiful. The rattle. It's really a lovely, lovely card. Better than 10 swords in your back, in my opinion. But it's art. I may not be an expert, but I know what I like in my tarot. This is really about a critical focus. Like the card of criticism isn't always about being critical as much as it is, like, think critical care unit, right? Like think critical focus. Like this is something we're so close. We're at a 9. We're almost at a 10. We're almost at that resolution. We're almost at that completion. It's sort of like focus, 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 right? So this is something that she is focused on, and it makes sense. And it makes sense with the learner and Justice there. That she's really trying to balance her shit out to have this, but with that divine child, that means that there is something mystical going on here. There's a difference, in my opinion, in my experience, different dimensions of consciousness between spiritual and mystical. Mystical involves the divine. Not all spiritual energy recognizes itself as divine. That's a good way to say it. It's all divine, but it all doesn't recognize and embrace its divinity, and therefore can get a little squirrely. That's probably a really nice diplomatic way of saying that. Thank you, whoever that was. What's she feeling? She's feeling the Capricorn card. This came up in the last reading for Capricorn. Is feeling that Saturnian 10th house, that there is a calling to keep learning and keep growing and keep climbing the mountain. Step by step, slow and steady wins the race. Just like a smart child, a wise child would. Baby steps. That there is a learning curve, a learning process, something to be built over time. 10th house, by nature, is something that is built over time. Chronos, right? God, Saturn, Chronos, time. The evolution of something like a reputation, like a long-term relationship, really is wanting that stability, but one where, because the child archetype is always about innocence and safety, feels that safety within herself, that justice and honor and balance within herself, so that she can be okay protecting herself against negative forces, which ultimately is seeing everything is here to help us grow, learn, heal, and evolve. We don't have to like it, though. We can outright hate it. We just need to accept some level, some way. In retrospect, maybe this is all happening for me, right? So exciting. What's her soul, her spirit say? Loyalty. 3 of flames, 3 of wands, willing to wait, willing to hang in there, wanting something loyal, right? That this is about, wow, this isn't just about her being loyal to a soulmate contract. This is about her being loyal to her own spirit, her own heart. She wants this very much. This is something written in the Divine Feminine's heart here, that she has had to go through this so many times, so many twin flame experiences, so much. I'm hearing unrequited love, but isn't that the story for all of us, lifetime to lifetime? If we didn't nail it all in this lifetime, that's okay. We'll go back a couple of 100,000 years. I mean, extraplanetary, pre-Earth, whatever. Yeah, we made a planet explode with a party once, and we're still cleaning up, right? Crazy shit. But just, you know, the incarnations in this life, right? Just human relationships, how many times we've loved and lost. Karmic, twin flame, soulmate, all the way home, right? Let's have a look-see-dooksy at this judge archetype, this divine masculine, using the magnificent Mythic Tarot by Juliet Sharman Burke. Bless her soul. Love this deck. We're going to do the same thing. 5 cards. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit. Please breathe along with me. Oh my gods, please. 5 cards. Element spread for the divine masculine judge archetype. In this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for December 2019-ish, though timeless whenever the person watches it, when it is whenever they're supposed to see it. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit. Please clarify here. What does this divine masculine judge archetype want? What is his element of fire? What is his element of earth to help him get what he wants? What is his element of air? What does he think about what he wants? He's feeling very centered. What is he? It's what he's thinking, his element of air. What is he feeling? What's his intuitive process, intuitive and emotional? What's going on there? And really the overview from his spirit, from his soul. What's going on there? His element of spirit in overview. Shall we? The judge, what does he want? Ace of Cups. Aphrodite with a cocktail, a really big cocktail. Makes her hands look really tiny. This is absolutely what he wants. He wants a new beginning with love. He wants, you know, the potential. He wants that new step. So it's possible these two have not connected yet just because of that, or if they know each other, maybe the first move has not been made, or you know, what have you. It would make sense, right? If it's a judge, it's like, well, let me make sure this is balanced. Like, nobody's Me Tooing anybody, and nor should they. And particularly with the Ace of Cups that way, it certainly, you know, moves into the 2, which is attraction. It's, you know, people freak out. It's the 2 of Cups. It's the 2 of Cups. It just means attraction, right? It doesn't mean anybody's going to act on it necessarily. It's like, well, I'm a Virgo. What do you want? Sagittarius are like, no. It means we're going to get married because you're Sagittarius. Let's see, what does he have? Like, you know, he's got the Ace of Cups there for what he wants. What is the Earth to help him get what he wants? And damn, it's the card of the Lovers. Now, of course, Ace of Cups and the Lovers right next to each other. I mean, I don't think we need to be extra fluffy bunny here to say that this is absolutely in the genre of a romantic sexual read, an intimate kind of thing, but also that a decision has to be made, right? The Lover's card is always about a life-changing decision. That's why it is a major arcana card, not just another choice along the way. This is a big deal because it feels like there is no going back. Or, yes, you can make another decision later on, but to really do this with a combination of love, wisdom, and power, which is Aphrodite, Athena, and Hera depicted in the card, instead of picking just one of them, which is what Paris did, not the city, the Greek hero. It's how the Trojan War began. So, you know, can we balance all 3? Can we make a lovingly, powerfully wise decision? Up to each of us. What's he thinking about all of this? And we got the High Priestess. Remember how I said when I put them, it's like that one feels really kind of stable. It felt really good. That he is going more with his intuition on here. That there are things that are hidden within. Not necessarily I'm feeling hidden within the relationship, but things in the subconscious mind. That it might be that this divine masculine really isn't relying purely on their intellect, but with that balance of compassion, something energetic that's probably a better approach. Chakric. A lot of divine masculine, because I've worked with a lot of divine masculine and divine feminine in my career, regardless of physical gender, that divine masculines tend to want to do it through chakra, kind of want to do it through a more intellectual process, which is brilliant. I mean, that's why Caroline Myss, bless her heart, divine masculine, divine feminine, she's divine Myss. She's whatever she wants to be. I adore her. Helped me really in some ways more than any other teacher, because the way she translates energetic reality into a language that someone with an intellect can follow and metabolize it without it being over pedantic, if that's a thing, as if pedantic wasn't enough. Look it up. You'll see what I mean, right? So with the High Priestess here, there's a vibe there that there is something kind of in the body about this, that sort of trusting the process, trusting the gut, integrating that there is perhaps, here we go, a secret and a mystery, pulling, intriguing the divine masculine here in terms of the divine feminine, particularly if the divine feminine is really developing that suggested special connection with the divine. That it's sort of like a second chakra, heart chakra, melange, radar, electromagnetic dealio. What's he thinking? What's he feeling about that? That's what he's thinking. What's he feeling? Well, is it really? The King of Pentacles, which happens to be the Capricorn card. And they're both in the water position. Huh? Whoop? Yeah. Definitely both of them thinking long-term, feeling long-term. Sorry, in the space of emotion, yeah. Yeah, they are both Capricorn, just double checking. Like I didn't all of a sudden astral project into another timeline where there's a different set of tarot cards in front of me. Yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome. They're both kind of feeling this long-term, durable 10th house, highest. 10th house is highest potential, not just higher, highest potential. What is your highest potential? We don't know. We really don't want to know. But that's what life is about. Life is, let life have its way with you, because it's making you into who you came into this life to be. Play along. But it is absolutely like anything else worth having. Long-term, slow and steady wins the race. This feels like there really is a desire in both of them individually for commitment, both feeling it, whether or not they've actually, I don't know. That depends on your story. Comment below, because I find it fascinating. Oh, and what's his soul card? Good old Six of Swords. Got some thinking to do. That's okay, right? Some mental healing going on, which would make sense that in the mental field we have the High Priestess. There's something spiritual going on here. Maybe mystical, maybe not, but spiritual. Balancing the intellect with the intuition, because what I love about the Six of Swords, troubled water on one side, smooth water on the other. So that can be, yes, meditation, that can be therapy, that can be counseling, that can be self-help, but particularly engaging the mind, which is very divine masculine, like I said. So if he is studying like the energetics of the chakra system, ancient and contemporary, because that's easy enough to do. Just fucking Google it, right? Get plenty of places to jump off, although I highly recommend Anatomy of the Spirit, Caroline Myss, because I adore her. Just do. She's amazing. That there is definitely healing overall, the overview, moving in that direction. Just like the overview here, that the Divine Feminine is really coming into alignment with her own honor, her own loyalty, being loyal to her own self, honorable to her own self, and holding space to take this journey from the point of view of the divine child. And this judge in Six of Swords, sixes are numbers of balance, right? And the Lover's card is a 6. Trying to balance that out in a fair way. We got 3 more cards down on the table. Let's go. Please breathe. Whispers of Love Oracle. higher selves of all involved. This is fascinating. So glad I'm doing this. I'm okay that I'm not a Sag. I like this one, though. This is, like, good story. I like, who doesn't like good stories? Well, we're dealing with ancient archetypes in contemporary form, so let's have a look-see. Please, the higher selves of all involved. Breathe. Oh, one card in clarity for the Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine, Divine Child in this Sagittarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Soulmate contract for December-ish 2019, though timeless. Face down. Same, please, while we're here for the Divine Masculine, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Sag contract, Soulmate, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise. One card, please. For the Divine Feminine, Divine Child, we have consider your foundation. Then that really is about that focus, that Nine of Swords, that focus in particularly to bring balance and justice. You are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. Well, how committed are you? How committed are you to the long haul? How loyal are you, right, to the learning process that is ahead of you step by step up this mountain? Consider your foundation. You are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. I love the whispers of love. I love this deck. By the way, I got a new deck today. I'm going to introduce it at the very end, but I'm going to unpack it in its own bed because it's worthy of it. For this Judge archetype, our Divine Masculine here. You are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. Really feeling that's the ultimate conclusion for this Divine Masculine, is that I can do this. Like, he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. He's going to make the life-changing decision, but it's not just the mind alone. It's the mind and the soul, particularly with Persephone, right? Not just the heart, but the immortal soul, that which never dies but constantly transforms. To do the long haul, it's just really, with that King of Pentacles, they both have King of Pentacles in the water, but this definitely, this Six of Swords, moving from more turbulent into more peaceful, more harmonial, mental, emotional, psychological balance, and in that finding limitlessness, and that you can do anything you choose to do. Divine Masculine. Last card down, we're going to do a Journey of Love Oracle. Just one, because that's all you need. This is a very potent oracle system. I don't screw around with it. Not that I screw around anyway, but, you know, getting to know a deck, it's every time I pull one for myself, a particular relationship or something, and I read it out of the book, every time, but pretty much almost every time, I'm brought to tears. So I'm glad to use it here, the Journey of Love Oracle. So please breathe. We started with the collective pantheons. We end with the collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity, a Journey of Love Oracle card for the overall soulmate contract for this Sagittarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic, intimate, sexual contract. Please, one card. Where are they on the path, on the journey of true love? Let's find out. Self-initiation, card 12. Oh my god, it's the same thing on both sides. Oh, it's the same thing on both sides. It was like, did I do that right? I did. Self-initiation. Well, okay, that would make sense with that Ace of Cups. Let's just find out, right? 12. 1 and 2 make 3. Look, he even does numerology. Such a mitzvah. Self-initiation, a quickie. I read it from the book because just the book is better than anything I could try and memorize or paraphrase. Number 12, self-initiation. You are being touched by a wave of your own light in motion. Can you feel the blessings and love that are flowing towards you from within you in an upsurging wave of love? This is your own pure divine nature. You can choose to empower another as the carrier of your own divinity, of course. And sometimes, if you are not quite ready to recognize your own divine essence, this needs to be. Yet at any moment, you can choose to recognize that it is you who are initiating yourself into love, that you are the being of light, the divine, that is drawing you forward into yourself. At any moment, you can choose to recognize yourself. Will this be such a moment? Pause. Because that's like the meaning of the card. Then they give you an oracular meaning, like what it means in the oracle, and then a little poem at the end. So it feels like both of these, that they're both the divine masculine and the divine feminine here, are going through a process of self-initiation. They may not have met yet. Like, I know it says it on the card, but it does make sense. It's like the divine feminine with everything, like considering her foundation, and the divine masculine discovering that he is limitless through this process. These two might not have met yet. And if they have, it's like they're still in that process of sort of getting themselves together. Here, I'll read the oracle part of it. This oracle holds a message for you. There are many teachers on this path, some humble, some wise, some great companions on your life journey, and some who will enter in and out of your life quickly, perhaps imparting a helpful word or teaching you a more challenging lesson about trusting and relying upon your own wisdom. I mean, that's just both sides of the scale right there. The greatest teacher, however, is life itself, right? It's like, let life beat you down if it has to make you be who you came in to be. You can trust in your own experiences and know that it is the divine spark within you, the life within you, that is the one true teacher who carries you home in awakened reunion with the divine. So this is almost like a Path of True Love reading, in that it really is about two people on a very specific trajectory. It feels like towards each other to help each other heal, but at this stage in the game, they're still very much in that I'm healing me, you're healing you, you do you, I'll do me. Doesn't mean that they can't interact. But it feels like with that Lover's card, the decision has not been made, and she's got that Justice card, so it's all still kind of being weighed out right now. So the poem, ready, please breathe. How easy to love, the words flow when it is right. I dare not tell you. There it is. Yeah. Aww. That's so sweet. There might be some crushy going on here, but that's okay. It feels like the day will win out when it is the right day to do so. Let's give you your overview, shall we? A magic clap. We've got the divine feminine here with the divine child. In the shadow, an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. The light attribute, innocence, purity, and redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine, which makes sense with her earth being the learner, right? That Eight of Pentacles, wanting to take this innocence, this redemption, to learn what she can in just romance and intimacy and sexuality and the whole romantic soulmate contract thing. What she has to help her get that is that Ma'at, that card of justice, that she is going through a phase of balancing, of finding out what is fair, of lightening her own heart. In her air, however, she has that Nine of Blades there, the Nine of Arrows kind of pointing in, really being focused, perhaps maybe a little over-focused, but with the Capricorn energy in her field of emotion, just as the divine masculine has. Certainly this is something serious. This is something long-term. This is something that she really wants a very, very high value, and is willing to take the slow and steady path up the mountain that wins the race. And with that card of the Three of Flames, loyalty in the soul position, the spirit position, totally makes sense. Willing to wait, willing to do this in a right and honorable way. With that card of consider your foundation, at the foundation, she's being asked to look at how committed she is to love. So of course the weighing of loyalty with the card of justice, Ma'at, makes sense. For our divine masculine judge archetype, we've got the shadow attribute, offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority, alchemizing that in from pulling the thumb off the scale, if you will, moving that into the alchemy of gold, balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power within themselves, within this relationship, within their lives in general. Very much wanting the Ace of Cups, very much wanting a new start, a new fresh drink from the Ace of Cups, a new love experience, something brand new and fresh. Even if they know each other already, this is definitely something he wants in this relationship. But what's on his plate in the element of Earth is the card of the Lovers, that there is a big decision there, trying to figure out, you know, what is the loving, wise, powerful, empowering decision to make that will be for the well-being of all. And in his mental field, there's just the High Priestess there. So there's even, they're telling me here, adding to this soul searching, that there's some real going down into the deep secrets of the soul and the gut and the intuition. Because in the emotional field, we have the King of Pentacles, again, a Capricorn card, just like the Divine Feminine has in her element of water. So definitely feeling the stable, feeling the connection. That's probably the best way to say that for these two, that they are both feeling the connection, whether or not they've met. It may be subconscious. They may not be able to identify it so clearly. Hopefully, because of this reading, they will be able to catch a whiff of that, because there's definitely something written in here into the divine plan, but particularly with the divine masculine in that Six of Swords, traveling from turbulent waters to more smooth, right? Bringing in some more mental, psychological balance here and harmony. With the message of you are limitless, right? From the higher self. The higher self saying, like, all of this, all these limitations were necessary, and what you are is beyond these limits. Recognize there's this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. And yet both of them, though this call is so strong to this contract, whether they know each other or not, whether they have met each other or not, whether they've even been in the same 10-mile radius of each other or not, they are both still in this phase of self-initiation, still in preparation to come together and birth something new for the both of them, both as a divine child and as a judge. So there we have it, my Sagittarians. I would say, you know, that touch of Capricorn in there is a little strong, I get it, but something worthwhile for the expansive mind and hunter-like nature of the Sagittarian. So may the Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed in this or a similar soulmate contract, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic, intimate, sexual partnership for the well-being of all concerned and all who want that. May we all be blessed with that type of contract. And so it is. Please do like and subscribe. Oh, my new Facebook group. It's not a new Facebook group. I renamed it. Go check out, if you're interested, on Facebook, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. Keep forgetting to put that in there. I did a video on that too. It's in my back catalog. Go look on my channel. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of the holiday season. And for now, my darlings, my Saggies, I love my Saggies. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.